Best Video Game Adaptation and Minecraft is getting nominated. Who's voting for that? I regret absolutely nothing. Hi, I'm Tri, and as a fan of games and the industry they come from, the Game Awards is something I look forward to every year. Is it full of bloat, lots of ads, and 57 zombie or space first-person shooters? Yes, and I love it. No, but seriously, in terms of the actual awards themselves, I love being able to recognize great games and developers, and get the opportunity to add games to the never-ending backlog that I'll hopefully get to in the next 5 to 6 business years. But this year felt special compared to past years. I think 2017 was the closest in terms of scale and variety and just how many 10s we were seeing, but I think 2025 is giving it a serious run for its money. This was also the first year that I've played most of the Game of the Year nominees. And if you're curious as to what I thought would make the nominee cut, here's a little clip. So real quick, what will be the nominees? Number 1 is Clair Obscur. Number 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. Number 3, Hades 2. Number 4, Death Stranding 2. Number 5, Arc Raiders. Oh, and number 6 is going to be a dogfight. It's either Kingdom Come or... No, I'm so stupid. DK Bonanza. How could I forget? It's Donkey Kong Bonanza. Am I dumb? Okay. It's those 6. Those are the 6. As a Nintendo-based channel that covered Donkey Kong Bonanza, and someone who has Hades and Hollow Knight in their top 15 games of all time, you'd think it was a pretty intense battle for my personal Game of the Year. And it was. My vote is for... Yeah, so even I didn't expect Clair Obscur Expedition 33 to be my Game of the Year. Better yet, a game I was gonna play. But I heard enough fanfare and just happened to be job searching at the time and wanted something to distract me from the economic state of the world. And Clair Obscur was the perfect escape. Does this mean I didn't like Silksong, Donkey Kong Bonanza, or Hades 2? No, those are some of the greatest games I've ever played. But I've learned just how impactful a novel experience is. Something I haven't seen before, and I think there's a theme with games that win the Game Awards. Breath of the Wild in 2017, Elden Ring in 2022, and Baldur's Gate 3 just last year are all prime examples of what a standout novel experience looks like in a Game of the Year winner. Now I know that Clair Obscur isn't the first to do turn-based combat with active parry and dodge mechanics, or include the party system we're so used to seeing in JRPGs and other RPGs alike. But for me personally, I've never really been hooked by these kinds of games. Persona 5 for example. Great game, great UI, great music, not for me. I played a good 10 plus hours of it and just couldn't get into it. And there are countless other games like it that I enjoyed on occasion, but something about it just didn't sit right, and I was completely content with acknowledging that this genre of game just is not for me. And then I played Clair Obscur for like days straight until I beat it. I could not put it down. It's a lot of things. It's the music, the combat, the strategy, the narrative, and kind of tying in with the narrative, just its originality and its premise. I think in the past decade or so, we've been so accustomed to big, blockbuster-looking games having an open world and lots of freedom. I think that's great. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, for example, are some of my favorite games of all time. But that left me with open world fatigue. I craved a complete story and an experience that prioritized the story it told you, and didn't let the gameplay interfere with those important story beats. It also comes from a dedicated indie team. So if you haven't played it, please do yourself a favor and play it. I really meant what I said when it came to the importance of a novel experience, and that's also why I want to shout out Blueprints, which I happened to play right before Clair Obscur, and that was one of the coolest experiences I've had in gaming. I don't recall ever having to have a notebook on me to write down information I learned from a game in my lifetime. Blueprints has my vote for indie debut, and I feel really bad that it has to sit next to the potential Game of the Year winner in Clair Obscur. But Blueprints made me feel like a legitimate detective, and it really showed me yet again why I love video games as a medium. They let us experience media and stories in a way that just wouldn't be possible elsewhere. I do want to briefly cover the other nominees and just some thoughts I had about games that were in other categories. I was really surprised by the lack of Donkey Kong Bonanza in most categories. I think it was Family Game of the Year and Game of the Year, and that was it. I at the very least expected it to show up in game direction as well. I'm not a huge 3D platformer guy, but how they utilized voxel technology and incorporated the story with the setting, I just am seriously scratching my head as to why it's not being recognized for its direction. Mario Kart World will most likely not win anything, and I think the online discourse surrounding it has seriously tarnished its reputation, but if anything, it has some of the best music of any game that came out this year, so I was sad to see it not show up in the music category. Maybe it's because most of the soundtrack includes remade renditions of older Mario music, but still. I will definitely be live streaming my reaction to the Game Awards itself come December 11th. This was a bit of a shorter video, but I wanted to get my initial thoughts out there. If you enjoyed hearing me chat Game Awards or just enjoy me talking in general, consider subscribing. Special shoutouts to my patrons who have been supporting me so far. If you want to help me keep this whole YouTube content creation dream alive, you can become a Patreon member. That link is in the description down below. If you want to see my perspective on this year's Game Awards 6 months ago, check out the video that'll pop up. Thanks for watching, I appreciate you being here, and as always,
thank you for all your support!